Taking a live look outside. This is Lookout Mountain. I actually could say anywhere in the state right now, or Earth, and you would know no difference. I will tell you, just 30 minutes ago when we looked at this camera, we saw a few clouds moving in. 30 minutes before that, we could only see kind of the fog in the north. Now, it has taken over Golden this morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm Jordan Chavez.
And I'm Corey Rose. Let's get a check the forecast right now with Keely Chalmers. Keely, you can feel the moisture in the air this morning.
Yeah, no surprise that we're waking up to fog, low clouds, and a lot of moisture at the surface layers of the atmosphere. That is because of the heavy rains overnight. Here is a live look from our Horsetooth Reservoir sky cam, and you can clearly see fog is a big story this morning. A lot of moisture out there, visibility very limited. Akron, it's actually improving. It was down to nothing about 20 minutes ago. We got 0.3 of a mile right now. So reduced visibility as you head toward Fort Collins, no question. Reduced visibility in Broomfield. So again, if you're out and about hitting the roadways this morning, be ready to encounter those low clouds and limited visibility. Right now, low clouds out over Denver as well. 62 degrees outside the 9 News studios. Live radar, we do have dense fog advisory for Cheyenne, Yuma, Kit Carson counties across the eastern plains. We're starting to see those sprinkles, a little bit of rain moving in across the southern mountains. That's where we'll start to see those thunderstorms develop this afternoon. 1 or 2 rolling down in the metro area. Most of the storms south of the metro area and across the southern plains. So we're going to make it into the 70s by right around 11 o'clock, 80s by 2 o'clock. That fog will dissipate as we head into the middle part of the day. 86 degrees, that's a forecast high for today. Mostly sunny skies by this afternoon, but also this afternoon we have a chance for an isolated storm around the metro area. We have some active weather as we head into the weekend. We're looking warmer and drier as we head into next week. We'll talk more about that and go into detail a little bit more on your weekend forecast coming up in just a bit.
All right, Keely, because we're always looking forward to the weekend. Thank you so much. It is 7:02, live look from CDOT, where we are definitely seeing southbound 225 delays here at Yosemite Street. Pretty typical, folks headed from southbound 225 toward I-25, and we are seeing that volume pick up a bit. Let's bring you over now to our map, because I do want to talk about a crash we are dealing with westbound I-70 and Peoria Street this morning, so delays well into Aurora this morning. Please keep that in mind if you typically travel on westbound I-70 across town from Aurora, from E470, crossing over 225, approaching Peoria is where we're going to be dealing with a lot of congestion. Almost 20 minutes worth of a backup. Again, all stretching into Aurora because of a westbound I-70 crash and Peoria Street. So that's going to be the biggest headache of the morning right now. 10-minute slowdown on southbound 225 between Iliff and I-25. The rest of our main interstates really not looking too bad. Maybe a 3 or 4 minute slowdown for your Denver to Boulder drive, but we're looking at just under 20 minutes still on westbound Highway 36.
Erica, thank you. Right now, CBI needs your help finding this missing Indigenous person. 46-year-old Matthew Archuleta was last seen last Thursday around 1 in the afternoon in the area of First Avenue and Wadsworth. He was last seen wearing a black t-shirt, blue jeans, and might be carrying a skateboard. Officials say that he has medical concerns, which requires medication. Anyone who sees him is asked to call the Westminster Police Department. That number is 303-658-4360. People around Denver's Globeville and Elyria-Swansea neighborhoods have some concerns about dangerous intersections. They've met with the city's transportation department once already.
But today, that department is moving things forward, getting public feedback and talking potential improvements. 9 News transportation specialist Brianna Fernandez is live in North Denver. And Brianna, what was the biggest issue for these areas?
You know, speed. Speed was a #1 issue for these intersections, and that's what Dottie has been hearing from a lot of folks who live in these neighborhoods in the North Denver area. Dottie was also telling me that heavy traffic, people cutting through these neighborhoods, and also unsafe crossings is also another problem. So take a look at your screen. Here's an overall look of the North Denver area and where we could potentially see these improvements. So those streets, the streets that kept popping up in these meetings include Lincoln and East 45th Avenue in Globeville, and Clayton and Steel Streets in Elyria-Swansea, plus several others around this area. Dottie looked at speed data, where people are traveling to, where they came up, and they saw specific improvements that they need to bring to the table. Some of those improvements include speed humps, curb extensions, pedestrian crossings, bus stops, as well as bike lanes. Another idea is to limit the amount of drivers that cut through these neighborhoods. These potential corridor improvements is all thanks to the community because they brought up these concerns to Dottie back in the spring.
Speeds is one of the biggest issues we have, both in this area and across the city, and it really speeds are really correlated with how severe crash is if a crash happens. So the goal is to get speeds down. We heard that from the community as well. They just don't feel safe or comfortable on streets where drivers are going so fast.
Hey, and if you want to give you improvements and feedback about these intersections here in the North Denver area, you can. Coming up in the next hour right here on KTVD, I'll tell you how you can give your feedback. Also, the big question is, when will construction start? For now, I'm live here in North Denver. Brianna Fernandez for 9 News.
And that construction is going to affect a lot of people. All right, Brianna, thank you. A Brighton High School senior is set to be in court today facing vehicular homicide charges after being involved in a deadly crash in Thornton 3 months ago. Police say that 18-year-old David Mendez-Reyes ran a red light at 120th and Colorado Boulevard back in March, slamming into 35-year-old Christian Santa Maria and killing him. Officers found Mendez-Reyes naked and acting erratically. Tests later showed alcohol and marijuana in his system. Investigators believe that he was going 117 miles per hour. Santa Maria's mother says that her family is devastated.
Porque mientras mi hijo está bajo tierra, él dejó a muchos niños sin su padre. Dejó a sus padres sin su hijo, a sus hermanos sufriendo. Todos lo estamos sufriendo en diferente manera.
Santa Maria was a father to 8 children ranging in age from 2 to 14. Police also say that Mendez-Reyes was driving on a suspended license, but didn't explain why.
In 2 hours, the man accused of shooting a Greeley bar manager is set to be arraigned. Officials say 32-year-old Jimmy Cazares fired nearly 60 rounds through the front door of Weiler's Pub early last December, hitting the general manager inside. She was rushed to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Cazares was arrested later that day after a standoff nearby. His arraignment is set to begin at 9 o'clock this morning.
This morning, we are nearing the end of 2 weeks as recovery missions continue in central Texas. The flooding started on the 4th of July and it devastated parts of the state. The hardest hit area was Kerr County with 107 deaths. 27 of the deaths are from Camp Mystic. More than 1,000 local, state, and federal agencies are involved in the ongoing search efforts as nearly 100 people are still unaccounted for. Texas Longhorn safety Michael Taft paid a special tribute to the deadly Texas flood victims. During SEC Media Days in Alabama, he was seen wearing a burnt orange tie featuring 27 initials representing the children, counselors, and the director that was killed from Camp Mystic. The Austin native said that he wanted to use the national stage to recognize and honor them as the search continues for those that are still missing a week and a half later. And you can help those devastated by the floods there in Texas. Our parent company, Tegna, has created a way for everyone to give. You can scan the QR code on your screen to donate right now. We also have information on how to donate on our website, 9news.com.
Residents of Seward, Alaska were forced to evacuate to higher ground following a 7.3 magnitude earthquake. The quake prompted the National Tsunami Warning Center to issue a tsunami warning, but that was later canceled.
A tropical storm is threatening millions of people across the southeast with heavy rains and flash flooding. Right now, the system is churning toward the Gulf Coast. The storm poses serious flood risks to people on the Gulf Coast, notably further inland in Louisiana. Heavy storms could be long-lasting, tracking over the same areas repeatedly and soaking the same spots with several inches of rain. Forecasters say it's unlikely the system is going to turn into a hurricane, but it will still bring heavy showers, strong winds, and rough seas through Friday.